gentlemen, welcome to tonight's main event.
Where's the Friday?
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
On this blessed Friday, let us give thanks.
So, another Friday is upon us.
G'day. This is Rob Birdsey. How you doing? Welcome to my show. Today I have a great guest. But before we get into that, I want to talk, because this one's a little bit different actually. This one I want to talk about, before we get going, you can go onto YouTube. So go to YouTube, go to Widowed, Trio, and Freedom. That's Widowed. I'm a widowed dad. Trio, I have 2 little boys. And Freedom, I tell these stories about our lives to hopefully help you guys, help us, help everyone around there. But today I have, it's actually really cool. I ran into this guy last week, and what he does is absolutely, it smells fantastic. I walked into the place of business where he's at, and all I could smell was chocolate. And I mean like really good, expensive chocolate. And that's it. And straight away, you know, we hit it off. His name's Jason Vanderhoven, and he is the owner of Choffy. Jason, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. This is a great one. I want to get your life story, right? This is what we do. We usually just do a life story thing, but I will say, the moment that I walked through your door, the threshold, which was night and day compared to, I was just like 3 seconds indoors. It smelt really high-end chocolate. I've made chocolate from cacao beans themselves. It's so hard to work out. To get that formula and stuff like that down is absolutely crazy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
It was cool to run into you. I never thought that I would have met you just by chance. But it was super awesome. So when you invited me onto the show, I thought, oh man, that's awesome. I want to go.
Yeah. No, I think it's sad because I would say sad, but you've been doing this for a lot of years, right?
I have. Yeah. I've been doing it for about 13 years.
Wow. To be going that long into something that's so, I mean, it must have taken everything to get to where it's at, to get a formula of chocolate down. And this is like tea bags, right?
So the idea of Choffy is that we make,
right into that micro, man.
We make brewed chocolate. So what we do is we take cacao and we roast it and grind it in a really unique way so that it can be brewed into a healthy dark chocolate brewed drink. And that's the idea of it. So what's cool is that you can brew this product. You're going to get massive health benefits. It's going to taste fantastic, and there's different ways you can brew it. Now, one of them is a tea bag. We call it our Choffy singles, as well as we also have grounds that you can brew like you would a coffee or steep like you would a tea.
Right. This is pretty good. Let's start off. Where did you start? Where are you from? What did you? Yeah. Where were you born?
Okay, so I was born in Denver, Colorado. And when I was about 4 months old, my family moved to Anchorage, Alaska. My dad thought it would be a fantastic adventure to just up and leave the contiguous 48 and go to Alaska and scratch out a life there.
So you were raised in Alaska?
I was raised in Anchorage, and for a time, we couldn't quite afford to live in Anchorage, so we had to live on the outskirts of Anchorage. So we had a little single wide trailer that we lived on the outskirts, and we lived there for a while. And then as my dad grew a little bit in his business and business experience, we were able to move into town, and that was pretty cool.
Wow. What did you do?
So my dad, when he got up there, he started working at a McDonald's because he couldn't find a job. And so he said, yeah, I got this job at McDonald's, and he went to MacU, if you know what that is,
No.
McDonald's University.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they actually fly people out to become managers or general managers. So he started to manage a little McDonald's in downtown Anchorage. And then after that, he decided he wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so he started a franchise of a restaurant called Village Inn in just right in downtown Anchorage as well. And he did that for a number of years as well. We also were commercial fishermen. we started a little business where we were long line halibut fishermen and shrimp potters.
Shrimp
Shrimpers.
potters,
Yep.
shrimpers. Man, okay. Were you guys always LDS, or did you convert? Or
Oh, that's a really good question. So when my parents were married, my mom was LDS, but not an active practicing member of the church.
okay.
My dad wasn't a member of the church at all and had no interest to be a member of the church. So when we went to Alaska, I'm the second of three boys. So my older brother, he was about 3 years old when we left for Alaska, and I was 4 months old. My little brother was born in Anchorage, and over time, ultimately, he became interested in the church.
Oh, okay. That's I mean, Anchorage is such a rough and tumble little town, right? Like
Yeah,
it's-
especially back in the 70s, right? So the 70s,
Yeah.
it was rough and tumble. It had a lot of problems. A lot of the roads were dirt, so it was muddy and dirty, and it was a tough living, and it was definitely the edge of civilization.
That's no joke there. Plus you have the winter months too. So you guys spent a lot of time there. Like it
Yeah, I was there for about 11 years.
11 years.
And so that was, all of my upbringing, everything. I don't remember anything before Alaska.
yeah.
All of my childhood, I remember as Alaska. And so, yeah, it was, winters are tough, right? I remember going to school and we would walk to the bus stop in the dark because the sun comes up at about 9:30 in winter, and it goes down about 2:30 in the summer. Well, about 2:30 in the afternoon in the winter, and so we'd walk to the bus stop in the dark. We'd walk home in the dark. They made sure that we got recess when the sun was up, and we could just see a little bit of sun on the southern horizon there.
Wow.
But it was cool. I loved it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, I've had friends that have moved to there, and they had to move because their partners couldn't take the no sun in the wintertime.
Yeah, the no
pretty
sun in the
hard.
wintertime is really, really tough. And
Mm.
then on the other end of the coin is the summers. The sun never goes down, which some people can really deal with well and think that it's super cool. And some people find it to be kind of unnerving because they don't really know what time of day it is. And so you can be out at 10:30 at night, sun's up, playing at a park, doing whatever, and or in my case, fishing as a kid,
Yeah.
and having your mom come and say, "Hey, you got to come inside," and you ask why, and they say, "Well, because it's 11 o'clock at night, and you got to go to bed."
Yeah.
So that it's different, and you just have to acclimate to it.
Okay. What? So is your mum and dad still together? All that jazz? Or that?
Yeah. So my mom and dad are pretty amazing people, and kind of the people that I get a lot of inspiration from as to who I want to be. My mom was born with some problems, and my dad married her when she was about 19, and I think 18, almost 19, and then since then he has. They've been together, and he's been her caretaker, and he's taken care of her 24/7 ever since then. And let's see, my mom just turned, she's mid-70s, 73. So
Wow.
they're doing good. Of course, everybody's got their problems, and hers happen to be physical. But other than that, they're phenomenal people. And my dad, shout out to my dad. He's the guy I want to be like. He's the person that I derive a lot of inspiration from. He is the kindest, most loyal person that you'll ever meet, and the most giving person that I've ever met in my entire life.
Wow.
He's fantastic.
I love that. I really love that. It's funny to. Sounds like he was all in it whilst raising you as a kid. Yeah.
Oh, so much so.
Yeah.
He was always there. And when ultimately we moved away from Alaska because his business went bankrupt. So in the 80s, when you went bankrupt, it wasn't like today where you get to keep a house and a car and everything, right? They just took everything from you. So we were kind of stripped of everything, and we packed up what we had left and put it in a U-Haul. And my dad and I drove from Alaska to Colorado, which is where my grandparents lived, and they had a little duplex, and they said you can live in one half of the duplex until you can get on your feet. So it was pretty traumatic to leave there, but all during the time that we were in Alaska, when we drove down, the restarting of my dad's career and moving on to present day, he has been not just present, but a central fixture of my upbringing, of my adulthood, of our family. And he and my mom are just always there, and they're fantastic.
Full supporters.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you guys moved from up there in a bankruptcy situation, which you have nothing.
Yep.
Absolutely nothing. And you moved to where?
We moved to Denver, Colorado. So my mom's parents were living in Denver, Colorado, and they had this duplex. And so they said, hey, you can take half of the duplex until you can get on your feet and get moving. And so we moved down there, and my dad said, I got to find a job. And so he went back to McDonald's. And he picked up a job at McDonald's because he knew that he could get a job there. And so he became a general manager of a McDonald's and recognized that wasn't really what he wanted to do for his entire life. McDonald's is great. And I will always love McDonald's. I remember as a kid when we were so poor that they had the warming bins, and food could only stay in the warming bins for so long. And so when we'd come in, anything that was going to be thrown out, we could just take and eat. And so I grew up on McDonald's, and forever McDonald's will be a fixture in my life and something that I love. My kids love McDonald's, and I think a lot of the younger generation, they kind of struggled with it for a little bit, but my kids love it. And I think it's because it really kept us going for a long time. Yeah. But so he got this job at McDonald's. He was working there and knew that's not what he wanted in life.
Yeah, you could feel it in his bones.
Yeah. And so you could tell he was unsettled. Even as an 11-year-old, 12-year-old boy at the time, I could tell that he was unsettled and wanted something more. That just working for somebody and helping realize their dreams wasn't what he wanted. And he is an entrepreneur at heart. He has been. He was a fourth generation entrepreneur in our family. And so that was pretty cool. And so one night he had a dream about what he wanted to do. And he woke up and he told my mom, he said, hey, I think I know what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to write telecommunications software, and I want to resell it to places like campus environments, like colleges or the military or hospitals, and I want to do that.
Is this something you did on the side?
No, I never did anything like this. It was the weirdest thing because he just said, yeah, I want to do this. And my mom said, okay, dear, it's great. And so she rolled over and went back to bed, and he got up and got a Power Basic book. He'd done a little bit of programming, but not a whole lot. And so he made the deal with my grandfather. Hey, we'll go 50-50 on this business. I'll write the software. You keep us going for the 8 months that we need, and we'll start this company.
Yeah.
So he did. He started a company called Unique Communications. It's been 40 years now, a little over 40 years.
Wow. Okay, and so tell me about this. Did it take off? Did it work? What happened? What was
so here was the thing. He started this business, and a lot harder than what he thought it was going to be. He writes the software. They go and they get their first contract. It's with Dyess Air Force Base, and so they go to Dyess Air Force Base. They install the software. They kind of loved it. They kind of hated it. They had some questions about what it could do and what it couldn't do, and they had features that they needed added. So he went ahead and did that. And so he starts this company, and years start rolling by, and he had gone through it and hadn't really made a whole lot of progress in his business. So as he was going along, working on this business, he was doing a little over $200,000 a year in sales, which is not a lot for a company. And when you have all of your expenses, and at the time I'd been working in restaurants. I realized at a young age that restaurants were a great way to get fed. And as a teenage boy, that's what you think about a lot. So I started working in restaurants, and I ultimately went on a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I went to Brazil, and
that's awesome.
Yep. And my little brother went on a mission as well, and he went to Toronto, Canada. When he got back, both of us started working for my parents, and we said, Mom and Dad have really been there for absolutely everything that we do, and they are fantastic. We got to figure out some way to blow this business up for Mom and Dad. And so we knew that it was right on our shoulders, because Dad had been trying. Dad didn't know what else to do. He was working at it and had a lot of experience in managing businesses and working with people and super good with people. But some of the difficulties of getting through some of the red tape of working with military and being able to do that was tough. So my little brother went and he said, Dad, I want to be the salesman. And my dad said, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you should be the salesman. He said, no, Dad, I really want to be the salesman. Jason and my best friend growing up, his name's Mark. Jason and Mark are writing the software now, and you're managing the business, and I should be the salesman. So he started, and so he came to me and said, hey, Jace, I'm gonna sell some crazy stuff here, and I'm gonna need you to back me up on it. I said, what are you gonna sell, Sean? He said, well, I'm gonna sell, we may not have the software that I'm going to sell. I said, what? All right, what are you talking about, man? So he said, just hang on. So he calls me a few months later. He calls me and he says, hey, we've got an opportunity here, but we've got software that doesn't exist. Can you and Mark write this? And so Mark and I discussed it and we said, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's write it. So we started to do that and he sold it and we started to grow a little bit. And then.
So what did he see in the market?
So what he saw in the market at the time was in telecommunications, you have these big telephone switches. They're big computers like the old switchboards where you see switch operators that were plugging in from one to another. Well, that's been all automated now and it's computerized. But you have to have someone who speaks or writes in the language to be able to modify that switch. And so he said, yeah, I got this idea. I sold this idea that we can modify the switch programmatically.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, I said, well, okay. So we actually wrote some software and that software we figured it had to have its own language. So we actually wrote our own language and it's called the Whopper scripting language. And we got the name from, what was that show? There's a show in the 80s about War Games. It was War Games. Yeah.
Okay.
So War Games, they had a computer. It was called the Whopper. And we thought, that's kind of a cool name. So we just took the name of the Whopper and we said, okay, let's use this and made it an acronym. And we started to write it with this. And we went and we were successful. And as we were successful, we thought, and to be honest with you, the first time that it ever connected and did anything to a switch, I was astounded. I think my heart dropped and just stopped for a second because I never expected it to work.
Wow.
I always thought we were going to fail when we went to this first place. It was at Fort Leonard Wood. And so we went there and we were successful. We connected to their switch. It was an SA100 at the time by Nortel Networks. And as soon as that got out that we could do that, then we started to roll. And people said, whoa, I want this. You can automate this for me. I want this. And so other bases called and we started growing and then through later software innovations, we ended up really growing the marketplace and we went from a non-competitor in the marketplace to the second largest competitor to now Dad's business is the largest competitor of their field and they do a great job. They're very successful business and that's where I was up through about the time that I was, I guess 13 years ago. Yeah, that's where I was working for them.
Dude, that sounds amazing. So all around you've just had hand ups and hand ups in a certain way. Like I look at my life, right? It's been shambles in so many ways. You know, it's just like even just to have someone that was very pivotal in my life, like your dad seemed like he was always a can-do type person. Hey, this is how we do this. You know, showing you all that to come through all of that and to have even to have like what your dad's done. I mean, to have a dream. And to bring that to fruition never happens. No one does it, you know, or not many do it. Not many people act on it, especially to change. I mean, it sounds like he went from left field to right, something that he'd never done before. Had he ever wrote code before? Like that seems so
in
foreign.
College, he wrote a little bit. So my dad went to a couple years of college at, I believe he was up in Northern Colorado Community College or something like that. And so he had some old programming language classes like a Fortran 4 or something like that. And so he wrote a little bit, and so he had a concept of programming, but really when he got started, didn't really understand exactly what he was doing. But My dad is the type of guy that if he wants to learn something, man, it's going to happen. He's just going to keep going. He's going to keep going. He's got the no quit attitude. And that really is the idea of making you successful. One of the things that I've been taught is that you're not ever a failure, no matter how many times you fail, unless you give up. So if you keep trying,
show up.
Yeah, you're never a failure, right? You might not do it the right way the first time, the second time, the 50th time, the 100th time. But if you keep showing up, if you keep doing, well, you're going to just keep learning, and ultimately you're going to get it right.
Yeah, there's something definitely to be said about that. I mean, it's half the battle is having the right person step into that position, and I think half the time it's mindset. You know, if you have your mindset in that, it's like kind of what I'm doing right here. You know what I mean? Like I lost my wife in 2020, and the one thing that I tried to go back to work 3 times. I tried to go into areas and it wasn't working, and I could feel like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here, so I stopped, which I'm so thankful for. Yeah, and only to come into here and sort of backdoor my way into this radio stuff, and I mean, this is obviously I personally think radio is a little bit on the yesterday's news, but it's opened up a platform for me to see this desk around us. Before it was a tiny little desk. You know, I actually designed this for us to be here.
Wow, that's awesome.
You know what I mean? Like I've over the last couple of years, I've expanded this, and it's all started off as just I took a class to learn how to do sound edits, and they said, "You got to be on radio." I was like, "No, I'm not."
But that's the way it starts, right? You start with one little thing, and you get one little piece of information, and after that, you just keep growing and growing, and you keep perfecting your craft.
And it's so daunting every step of the way. Yeah. Like it's how, you know, I'm at the stage now where I have enough information to be dangerous. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to put that into, because, you know, over the next couple of years, I want to try and be on my own doing this, you know, and that's really where I want to be. I really would like to have a podcast or a production, something along the lines, you know. So yeah, just show up and do it, and grind. There's so many times where I have no idea how I'm going to do things, and it always seems to work out.
Oh, I think that's life, right? In general, you look at it and say, I don't know how to do A, or I don't know how to do B, but I want to do A, or I want to do B. Well, you have 2 choices. You can say, well, because I don't know how to do it, I'm just going to figure out something else to do. Or you can say, well, because I don't know how to do it and I really want to do it, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to go work at it. I'm going to figure out how to do it. And if I don't do it right, okay, that's all right. Let's just try it again. Let's just do it. I think it's a skill that we hope that our younger generation, that they learn. You know, our college students that are in college right now that we see here on campus, we want them to be successful. And our generation, there's nothing more that we want than to see them succeed and to see them grow and to see them become just powerhouses. And the way that happens is through that stick-to-itiveness where you just keep going and nothing's going to stop you. And that's something that, you know, we see with you, we see with my dad, we see with everybody who's successful at some point wasn't successful.
Yeah, it's usually, I think I could write a book on how many ways you can fail at everything. Because I mean, I've failed at just about, and I don't regret it one bit, to be honest with you. I wear it as a badge of honor. You know, there's so many things I've done. I work by the philosophy of, I will work for someone until I realize that they have no respect for me, and then I move on. And that's how I've been my whole life. Like, once I realize that you don't have the respect, then there's no point in me being around. You
know, one of the cool things that I learned is in Israel, they look at failure a completely different way than we look at failure here in the United States. In the United States, we look at failure as something that's bad or something that you don't want to do or it's distasteful.
It's so hard to get through.
Right? There, they celebrate failure. They say, wow, that was really awesome, because the only way you ultimately find what you want and what works is by failing at things. We talk about the invention of the light bulb. Everybody talks about the invention of the light bulb.
1,000 light bulbs, whatever, yeah.
And he says, I didn't fail 999 times or whatever it was. I learned 999 ways how not to make a light bulb. Well, that's really the same thing in anything that you do. And in Israel, they say, yeah, we love the idea of going out and trying. We love the idea of going out and doing something that may be risky, and you may fail, and probably you will fail. And that's okay, because we're going to celebrate you and say, great job for stepping out there. Now let's modify and try again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's legit.
Yeah.
I like that. So, man, it's very humbling to hear what a person's story could be. You know what I mean? Like when you have green lights, right?
Yeah. And I think that sometimes it's not just green lights. You have red lights. And
Sure.
sometimes you have big red lights. But again, it's, are you going to keep going? And that was kind of the story of my dad. So one of the things that my dad really loved to do is he wanted to have the opportunity to help people to have a living for themselves and for their family. And so he's employed just 10s, 20, 30, 100 people. You know, the company is about a 30-person company right now. And over the years, he's had that. And one of the things that's great is that they love my dad. He's fantastic because he treats them like they're people, like they have needs and they have wants and desires and dreams. And those are all valid to him. And I think that because of that, very few people ever leave the company. In fact, the turnover rate, I think, is about 1 employee every 6 years turns over.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great statistic.
Yep. Now, one of the cool things is you go to a restaurant, turnover is about 300% a year. Now, if
At
you
least.
take that from where my dad was at McDonald's
Yeah.
to where Unique Communications is, 1 every 6 years, 1 every 7 years. For a while, it was even longer than that. And that's where it was. And so working for my dad, it was absolutely amazing because he gave me the confidence to be able to step out and say, here's some of the things that I want to do. I want to write this software. I want to be able to change up my life a little bit with work-wise, and I want to be able to go and be impactful. And he said, okay, great, go for it. Write the software. Let's do it. And that's something that has been a great benefit to me, in that he supports not just me, but every employee that was there. But I think especially me because, I'm his kid.
Sure.
Yeah.
What brought you to the end of that then? Seems like you guys had some really good success there.
Right. Yeah, we did. We had, and still they have success. In fact, they're going to have their best year ever. And this year,
Wow.
13 years later. So we were started on the upswing. The company really started to blow up. We went from 5 people to 27 people in about a 3-year span. And it was great. And I really thought that's what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And even maybe I thought that I might even inherit the business. I was like, oh, I'm his boy. I should, probably be the next in line and do that. I don't know that my dad works exactly that way. I think it's more merit based than just being born into it.
Wow,
you kind of have to earn, regardless of who you are. You have to earn your position, and I love that about him because he's all about making sure that you work and that you can take care of the people that you're responsible for.
Perfect.
Yep. And so I thought that's kind of where I was going, and so I was setting myself up for that. My older brother may have wanted or may not have wanted to take leadership in the company. He worked for the company as well, and my little brother did as well. He was again the salesman. So, but for me, here's where things changed a whole lot. So I am a very active member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For me, that's a huge part and focus on my life. Like I said, I went to Brazil on my mission. Shout out to Brazil. I absolutely love that place. It's fantastic. So from 1994 to 1996, I was down there. Now we're showing my age a little bit, but that's all right. And I loved it. But what that did do is it kind of instilled this desire in me to be able to do what I felt was God's will. And so I was at the point where in 2006, my wife was going to have our 3rd baby. I've got 4 girls. And our 3rd baby was coming, and I was really thinking about, dang, what am I supposed to be doing here?
Yeah.
What's my purpose here? And I think a lot of people think about that. And my line of thinking was, there's got to be something more for me to do, right? There's got to be something that I can do to affect change for the better. And writing software was super cool. Helping 20-something, 30-something people to be able to have jobs was great, and I loved that. But I just felt like there had to be more.
Here's an itch.
Yeah. So to be honest, I started praying about it and asking and saying, hey, what is it you want me to do? But nothing. No answers, nothing ever came. So I kept praying and kept praying about it. And then Aspen, our third daughter, was born, and I had some time off. I had 3 weeks that I could take off. So I was taking off time. My wife was sleeping. Aspen, our baby, was sleeping. The other two were off doing whatever they were doing in school or playing with friends or whatever. And so I really thought about, again, where I was at and what I wanted to do and the changes that I wanted to make and how did I really want to help other people, or was this enough for me? And I decided, no, it was really something I wanted to do, is to get in and do something completely different and help people. I started looking around, and I traveled a whole lot back then for my dad's company, about 30 weeks out of the year. So I'd go all over the world. And I remember one time I was sitting in a Starbucks in Frankfurt, Germany, in the airport, and I was having a hot chocolate that was there. And I loved hot chocolate. I thought it was really great. But
most Mormons do.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Most members of the church, they really love hot chocolate. It's a nice way to have a warm drink. Chocolate's tasty. It's good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So I was sitting in the Frankfurt airport, and I was looking at people, and I was just thinking, there's so much in the world that people are down about, that they're upset about, where life is hard, and it just seems to be getting even harder. And I just really wish there was a way that I could help people to be happier. And I looked at, and right back then in 2006, we see the epidemic of weight starting in America, where people are gaining weight like crazy, and the heart attacks are on the rise, and families are disintegrating. All this stuff is going on. And I thought, man, there's got to be a better way. There has to be a better way. So again, I went back and I prayed about it, and I said, hey, listen, God, I don't care what it is that you want me to do. I'm going to do whatever it is you ask. You just tell me what it is. And it could be little, it could be great, it could be silly, maybe it's not, but I want to know.
Let's pause that for 2 seconds.
For sure.
We're coming up at the top of the hour. It's 10 o'clock. This is KSUU. This is Thunder 91 in Cedar City. Thank you for tuning in. This is Rob Birdsey. This is Widow Trio and Freedom, my show. I talk stories. We talk about life and things like that. Right now, my guest is Jason Vanderhoven, and he is the owner of Choffy, which is chocolate coffee, but it's not really coffee, right? Is that right?
Yeah, it's actually brewed chocolate. So
brewed chocolate.
Yeah, there's no coffee in it whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
And as we talk about the story, you're going to see why I did that.
Yeah. So let's get back to that. You're at a pivotal point right now.
I am. I'm at a pivotal point where my career is at its pinnacle. I'm absolutely loving what's going on. My family's in great shape. Things are going well. And I just feel like I should try to figure out what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
And so I that night I prayed about it, and it happened to be May 4th of 2006. And I remember the difference when I prayed that night was I said, listen, I don't care what it is. I don't care how great it is or how small it is, how silly it seems or how grand it seems.
Yeah.
I'll do it, and I'll do it until you tell me to stop. That night I had a dream that I was in Brazil where I'd served my mission, and I was in a home that I had been in while I was on my mission. And there was a lady who was there. She was much older, and she was serving me a drink, and I didn't know what it was. I was a little concerned that it might have been coffee, and there's a lot of coffee in Brazil. So I was a little concerned about that, but I took the drink graciously, and I took a drink of it. And the best way that I can describe it is it was as though this dam holding back a flood of visual memories broke. And as they zoomed past me in this dream, I began to realize that I had made this drink, and the sentiment was that it had finally made it to Brazil. And it was helping people all over the world to become healthy. And at that point, I woke up.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, this is absolutely amazing. I just couldn't believe that I had a dream like that. I'd never had a dream like that before. I'd never had anything like that ever happen to me before. So I was like, wow, it's crazy. And I was sitting up in bed and I kind of was wiping the sleep out of my eyes. And as I was thinking about it, I thought, that is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard of. Who would take a chocolate bean and treat it like a coffee bean? That's ridiculous. Go to sleep, Jason. So I laid back down, tried to go to sleep. Hour went by, I'm tossing and turning. 2 hours go by, tossing and turning. I can't figure it out. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. And I just remember kind of saying to myself, why can't I go to sleep? Right then, I heard in my mind, my own voice saying, I don't care how great it is or how small it is. I don't care how grand it seems or how silly it seems. I'll do it and I'll do it until you tell me to stop. And that's exactly what I said to God. I said, that's what I'm going to do. So when I heard that in my mind, I was like, all right, this is it. Let's do it. It seems silly. Let's go after it. And so I got up and went and found some cocoa beans on the internet. I bought them. They were in little 8-ounce bags. I bought out of some guy's garage in Phoenix, Arizona, I think. He shipped them up to me, and I had never made coffee before. I didn't know what you do with coffee. I'd never, I mean, I brewed coffee in restaurants, right? But I'd never roasted or made coffee. I had no clue what I was doing.
I don't think most do, to be honest with you.
No, so
it's a pretty unique situation to be in.
Right? So I was wondering what to do, and I was like, I felt kind of dumb. I was like, okay, you got these cocoa beans. You spent $40 on these cocoa beans. They were $10 for 8 ounces, so I got a couple pounds. And I said, well, I know that they're roasted, so I got out a cookie sheet, threw them on a cookie sheet, and put them in the oven at 350 degrees because, well, that's what you cook everything at, right? 350 degrees. Throw it in there for a while.
Makes sense.
So I threw it in there, and I thought, well, this is going to be cool. I'm so excited. I watched it for a while. I lost interest, decided to go check my emails. And so I went and checked my emails, and as I was sitting there, I started to smell something a little bit, and I realized, that smells like smoke. And I realized, oh, crud, I forgot about that. So I ran back to the kitchen. I opened it up, turned on the fan. I'm smoking the whole kitchen out, took them outside, and there you had it. It was roasted cocoa beans, I guess. And
charcoal cocoa beans, by the sounds of it.
A little charcoal, but not too bad. And so I said, well, now second step is, I guess you got to grind this somehow. And I didn't know how to grind it. I thought about, well, maybe you could just grind it up with a rock or something like that. And then the thought came into my mind when my wife and I got married. We got married in 1997. We had received a little food processor. And I think maybe we used it once to make some salsa when we first were married. And then after that, we put it back in the box. And we had carried it around from house to house to house. So we're 9 years into carrying this stupid little food chopper around. And I got the idea, oh, I wonder if I could chop it up with that. So I said, great. So I threw some of the cocoa beans in there and pressed it, chopped them all up, and it looked kind of like coffee grounds. So I said, okay, cool. Now I know you got to brew coffee, so you probably have to brew this. And so I didn't have anything to brew with, so I took a paper towel and put it over a little coffee cup and boiled some water and put some of the grounds in there, and I started to pour it. And as it came through, it was this rich, beautiful color that just looked amazing. And I thought, I am so excited. This is like the culmination of my dream and me, actually doing something about it. I was so excited. Now, just to let you know, at this time, my father-in-law was living with us. They got divorced. My in-laws did. And so he came to live with us for a while, get on his feet. And so he was living with us. That being said, so he's upstairs. And I take this cup and I just thought, oh, it's going to be this sweet, milky, just amazing chocolate experience. And I tasted it and it was nasty. It was so bad. It was bitter and it was roasted and it wasn't sweet and it wasn't milk. It was nothing like what I thought it was going to be. Never having had a coffee before, never having had a brewed drink before, I was like, well, I didn't know what it was supposed to be like, but this was nasty. And I was ready to abandon the whole thing when my father-in-law came down the stairs and he said, Jason, what are you doing? And the light bulb went on. I was like, oh, Dad, I made something for you. So he wasn't a member of the church. He drank coffee. And so I thought, oh, this is going to be hilarious. I'm going to give him this drink and it is going to be so terrible. And it's going to be awesome. Because I thought it was fun to joke with him. So he comes downstairs and he takes this drink. I said, here, try this. I made this for you. And so he took a drink of it. And I'm watching and I'm ready for this reaction of just disgust. Because that was my reaction at first. It was terrible. And he said, oh, that's pretty good coffee. And then he said, but you don't drink coffee. And then I had all of these feelings well up inside of me. I was like, how is this possible? How could he like that? I mean, that stuff is horrible. And at the time, I'll be honest with you, looking back on it, it was bad. It was really bad. And so, but I just couldn't understand it. And so he said to me, you don't drink coffee. And I said, well, it's not coffee. And he said, well, then what is it? And I was like a deer in the headlights. I'm staring at him. I have no clue what's going on. And all of a sudden it just popped out of my mouth. I just said, it's Choffy. And he said, Choffy. Took another drink and opened the sliding glass door and went out into the back.
And drank it.
Well, I thought he was going to throw it out in the yard, right? So I went out and I was like, he's definitely throwing this out in the yard. So I peeked my head out to go look. And no, he was sitting down and he was drinking it.
Yeah. He must like a black
He
coffee.
drank black coffee.
Yeah, black coffee makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyone that's not ever tried a coffee bean, a cacao bean, an actual bean after you roast it and chop it up and eat it, it's something that you could suck on 10 lemons and that would taste better.
Well, it's bitter, right?
Yeah,
it's super bitter.
It's like,
yeah, it's bitter. It's got this weird, if they're not roasted, they've got this kind of plasticky taste to them.
Yeah.
They just aren't very good. And
the roasting makes a big difference.
Yeah. So anyways, I went to my father-in-law and I told him, I said, I didn't go buy that. I made that. He said, yeah, no, you made it. I said, no. I didn't go and buy it and then brew it. I made that.
From scratch.
And he said, yeah. He said, you mean you made it from scratch? I said, yeah. And it was funny because his whole demeanor changed. He stood up and he said, well, then we've got a lot of work to do. Let's get going. And from there,
dude, he sounds awesome.
Yeah. So
this is your father-in-law, right?
My father-in-law.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I like my father-in-law. He's great. And so we worked on this project tirelessly. It was so fantastic. And ultimately, through revisions, we started with A because I didn't know what else to name it. So when I roasted it and ground it, I put it in a little Ziploc bag and marked it as A. We went through double Z and had my wife taste it. And she said, no, it's still horrible. And it took me from 2006 until 2010 to be able to figure out how to get it right and make it taste good. At one time, my wife said that it was smelled like sweaty gym socks, and she said, I'm never going to drink that stuff. And so, but I was determined at that point that I was going to be successful, and I failed for so many times.
Let me just stop you right there. There's a lot of time period gone past. Are you still working at the other place?
Yeah, I'm working at Unique Communications during this time.
Okay.
I'm still traveling. I'm still doing all of this stuff, and but something's telling me you just got to keep going on this project.
Yeah.
And so 2010, we figured out how to make it. One of the biggest problems was figuring out how to grind it. And so we actually had to create our own grinder. And so we created a commercial grinder. It was my wife actually took her inheritance that she got from her great grandfather. Love my wife, and put it into that. And wow. There's a little bit of faith there, especially for when she would just a year before was calling it sweaty gym socks. And so we
shout out to your wife.
Yeah, shout out to my wife. I love you, sweetheart. Thanks for doing that. And
how good's that?
But then from there it was, no, let's make a business. So we started a business, and I had a partner, and we started to get out in front of people. And by then, Choffy wasn't tasting bad. Choffy was actually tasting good.
Look, man, I like it. So now I'm 2 cups in.
Yep.
I think honestly the bold flavor, we didn't put anything else in there, right?
No.
There's no sugar. There's none of it.
No.
As far as we didn't add that, it's just your product and half and half.
Yeah.
And it was just a warm drink.
That was it. Now, the cool thing is that you can put anything you want into it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they want something sweeter. So if you're a member of the church, most of the people are going to want something sweeter. Sometimes not. Well, a lot of them not as sweet as like a hot chocolate, right? Because it's too sweet. Too many calories, right? And so the idea of Choffy is it's again super healthy for you. It's 20 calories, no fat, no cholesterol, 3 grams of carbohydrates, none of which are sugars, and 2 grams of protein. So it's a well balanced drink, and it's very healthy for you. There's some other compounds in it that are naturally occurring in the cocoa bean that help you to be happy and increase serotonin levels.
Oh, the antioxidants and things like that, right?
Antioxidants are off the chart, right? So you get more antioxidants in an 8-ounce cup, something like this, than what you would get in a serving and a half of blueberries. Yeah, super great. Also,
let's say that again. That's 1 cup is bigger than what?
So you get more antioxidants in an 8-ounce cup.
Yeah.
Than what you would get in a serving and a half of blueberries.
Okay.
Now, those are going to be polyphenols and sterols because they're plant-based. They're going to be great for fighting free radicals, for detoxifying your body. They just help you to function better at a cellular level.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that the scientific word for cocoa bean is theobroma. Now, theobroma is the word for cacao because it has the highest known concentration of theobromine found naturally anywhere on the planet. The cool thing about that is theobromine is it's a stimulant, but it's different than a caffeine because caffeine stimulates the heart to beat faster, closes off your vascular system, and it makes it so that your blood pressure increases. It stimulates the central nervous system so that when you come off of it, people shake, people get headaches, have all this sorts of problems. And that's caffeine. Everybody knows caffeine isn't fantastic for you, but everybody drinks caffeine. Why?
Oh, man, there's caffeine everywhere. Yes. We have no idea, even in potatoes.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And the reason why people drink it so much, I've got a great buddy. His name's Ruben. Actually, he's a student here. Shout out to Ruben. I love Ruben so much. He's one of my great buddies. And he just loves energy drinks.
Oh, ugh.
Yeah. So he loves them, and all the other kids do too, and my dad, and everybody else that I've met, they all drink those, and so I look at it and say, there's got to be a better way to this, and caffeine is just not very great for your body. Now, theobromine is completely the opposite. It's not an aggressive stimulant. It's a vasodilator, so it's going to encourage healthy blood flow by dilating the vascular system. And when it does, if you couple that with the antioxidants, it's going to detoxify your body. It's going to have a better delivery of oxygen and glycogen to your muscles and to your cells. So for athletic performance, it's a phenomenal enhancer that's actually legal to use. And for people that want to feel better, you're going to get a natural rise in energy that's not going to be like a big up and a big down that you get from caffeine, but it's going to be a elongated shot of energy. It's going to last 4 to 6 times as long as caffeine. So you're just going to feel like you had a good night's sleep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me because when I met you, I had just loaded up my wagon full of boxes doing deliveries, right? Because that's what I do. I do deliveries on Mondays. And that doesn't stop till about 9 to 10 o'clock at night. Yep. So I was going, and when you gave it, I was like, all right, I'll drink it later because I usually have tea, and everything ready to go for the day. But I did notice like I wasn't hurting as much as by the end of the shift, I was actually feeling pretty good. And I was like, I wonder if it was that drink.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, yes, the answer is yes, it was that drink. And there's also other cool chemical compounds naturally found in the cocoa bean that do things like increase serotonin levels, increase anandamide levels that help you to be able to focus better. So if you're a student and you're studying and you need to cram for a test, so it's not going to be the thing that's going to keep you up for 47 hours, but it does help increase focus and it does help increase natural energy. So you're going to be more productive. You're going to be able to focus better on what you're doing. You're going to be able to understand better. And one of the other cool things that it does is it writes brain chemistry and balances brain chemistry. Yeah. So if you want your brain to function correctly, well, that's a great way to do it, is to introduce cacao into your system.
Have you ever thought about making like little chocolate bars?
I have thought about it. In fact, I had the name Choffy Bar that I registered as a trademark and thought, well, maybe I'll do something with that. We'll see. I don't know. Perhaps, but it's kind of fun. But what we do is we roast different products, and they're all from separate countries. So from Ghana, from the Ivory Coast, from Ecuador, and from Nigeria, and we roast those to different levels. So we have like a medium roast, which would be lighter.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit more chocolatey. People that don't drink coffee and stuff like that, that's usually a good one.
Sure. Yeah. No. I was just wanted to talk to you about what's the degrading process like when you roast it too much?
Okay, that's a great question. So, yeah, you got to be really careful as to what you're doing and how you're going to roast. Anytime you roast anything, you are destroying nutrients,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So, raw is the best.
Mm-hmm.
It will always be the best.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes the worst. So the balance is, how do I have something? And then on the other end of the spectrum, if it's charcoal, then it tastes terrible as well. So you got to find something that's going to taste good, that you're going to be able to extract the nutrients out of.
Yeah.
So people ask me, they say, okay, which of your Choffys has the most nutrients, would you guess? And we say, well, from the ground's perspective, the medium roast for sure, because they are not roasted as long, as hot, and so they're definitely going to have more. But the hot water contact transfer, when you brew it, is not quite as efficient as when you roast it like a darker roast.
Yeah.
So, and if you get to a French roast, you're kind of on the opposite end. You have less nutritional value, more extraction. So we say that, I think that usually the medium roasts and the French roasts are about the same in terms of their nutritional value. Our dark roasts seem to be about the apex of where we find nutritional value, because we've roasted it enough that the bean is prepared to accept a hot water contact transfer, and it's not roasted so far that we've destroyed so much of the nutrients.
Good. So it's good. So your parameters of where right at the beginning, right at the end.
Yeah.
Your profiles of flavor, I'm sure it would come.
Yeah,
underneath,
profiles
right?
of flavor are important, but we've done some testing with some labs back east to substantiate the claims that we make about how much caffeine is in the product, which does have a small amount of caffeine, about 2.6 milligrams per fluid ounce. Just so that you know, that's about what it sits at for a medium roast.
And that's really nothing across the board. Like I said, most people don't realize potato has caffeine in it. There's so many vegetables that we eat everything's got caffeine.
Yeah, it's interesting. And cocoa beans naturally do have a bit of caffeine, but the theobromine level is super high. So we're 28 to 28.6 milligrams.
So that's what you're chasing more than anything.
Yeah, for sure. We're chasing the theobromine. We're chasing the theobromine, and we're chasing the antioxidants, phenylethylamine, which is one of those compounds that helps to right brain chemistry and increase serotonin levels. Yeah. Those types of things, that's what we're chasing.
Yeah.
Because we recognize that when you consume that, you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of Choffy is to help people live healthier and happier lives. And to do that, you got to feel better. You got to be able to function better. And in this world today, so many people can't function if they don't have caffeine in their system. So many people they don't feel good about their surroundings, about life. And Choffy really helps to increase all of that for you.
Yeah. It's usually the job that I do is grinding. It's a grinding job, delivery. It sort of wears on you quite a lot.
Yeah.
As it gets darker, it's not great either. I mean, I just remember that day when I did drink it, I felt like a pep in my step without the kick. There was no kick. Like, when you drink a coffee 10, 20 minutes later, or whatever, you feel, okay, there's a kick.
Yep.
We're going, everything's happening, da-da-da-da. I noticed that it was just ever so subtle. You know what I mean? Like it didn't.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. So
yeah, I like it too. And one of the cool things about it is that it seems to be that people that have ADD or ADHD, where caffeine doesn't do a whole lot for you. A lot of people, it actually smooths them out and makes it, they go to sleep. And I happen to be one of those people.
Yeah.
Caffeine doesn't do a whole lot to me. But with Choffy and theobromine, I actually feel better. And that's because it's not stimulating my central nervous system.
You mean it's not frying your central nervous system?
Right.
Because that's what it's doing. That's what
Yep.
that's what coffee does.
Yep.
It's overriding everything on a large scale.
Right, but it does increase healthy blood flow. And naturally, my body feels better because I'm functioning better at that cellular level and detoxifying my system. Again, I'm just running well. And then having my serotonin levels increase. I just feel good, right? I'm happy.
So how long would you say it takes for someone, say if they buy one of your packs, by the time they use all of it, do you think that they would be in a rhythm where they would notice a big difference?
Oh, that's a great question. So we have a 30-day challenge. We challenge people to kick your coffee, kick your energy drinks, kick your sodas, Diet Coke. Oops, I said it. Oops, Diet Coke. Here in Utah, it's a big thing, right? But kick your Diet Coke and try something that's going to have you be healthier and going to ultimately make you feel better.
It actually adds to your life.
Yeah, it does. It does. And we've had people that have gone cold turkey off of their coffee and went straight onto Choffy. And they've said, man, I really thought that I was going to have massive withdrawals. And I didn't. I actually felt okay. Not perfect, but okay. But as time went on, I felt better and better and better. And then I even had one guy say, hey, I thought I would stop drinking Choffy just to see. Does it make a difference?
Yeah.
Do I feel better? And am I addicted to it? That was another big question. Is Choffy addicting? And I'd done some tests on that, and it's not. But he wanted to test. So he said, yeah, let's give it a shot. So he went cold turkey. And he said, okay, so I'm fine. I miss the flavor of Choffy. And after a week, he's like, yeah, I'm not quite as bright. But maybe not as clear.
But it wasn't gut wrenching.
No.
You're not, yeah. So straight away, even off coffee, you notice that.
Yeah. And if you're going to be a product and a company that promotes health, the last thing in the world that I want is for people to become addicted. And from a marketing perspective, all marketeers, when I say that, they freak out. They're like, oh, no, we want people to be addicted.
We want them to want it, yeah. But you're doing it the right way. There's no hooks there. There's nothing else. So what are you actually adding? 'Cause I see you got two brands here, or two different types. You got so Choffy in a black and a white.
Yeah, so I brought a couple of them to show you. So this is Volta. It's from the Volta region of Ghana. This is a dark roast. It's going to be kind of like just a two-dimensional chocolatey flavor with a little roasted smoky component. And what do we add to it? Nothing. It's just 100% cocoa beans. That's it. And then,
how did you make it taste so good?
So that's the cool thing. It took a long time figuring out how to process it properly, and that's one of the trade secrets that we hold. It's kind of like the Colonel's secret recipe, if you will. But we worked really hard at that, and it's actually something now that my wife drinks on a daily basis. When she travels, she says, "Hey, I got to have some singles that are like in a tea bag, a little satchel. Got to take them with me." She's in California right now and traveling back today, and she's been out there for a few days, and so she's coming back and she's got her Choffy with her. The cool thing is that each one of these, so this one here, this white one is from Nigeria. This one is going to have more of a robust chocolatey flavor. It's going to have a super smooth finish to it. And those little nuances of flavors, they change based on the subspecies of cocoa and how we roast it. So think about it, if you will, like dogs. All dogs, or most all dogs, have 4 legs. They have a mouth and teeth. They have ears and a nose. But a Chihuahua is completely different from an Alaskan Malamute.
I'd say that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So subspecies of dog, very different. Subspecies of cocoa, very different as well. We've got products that, like the one that you and I are drinking, it's from Ecuador. And today we're drinking an Ecuador French roast, which I designed as a coffee replacement. The reason why is because it has this deep, rich, earthy flavor to it. And it's more coffee-esque as you roast it deeper. And so a Volta here, it could never do that. It's just going to be chocolatey, and it will get a little bit more chocolatey as you go. And then as you roast it, then it just starts to turn into ash and doesn't really do a whole lot. The Nigeria is the medium, as we roast it to a dark roast and a French roast. As you get more towards that French roast, this one will turn a little bit more mocha-like, which is cool for people, again, that drink Choffy. They can have something different. But.
So what is in the roasting process? And I don't want to get too far into it. What makes it French roast versus dark or a light? What's the difference?
Okay,
there?
think of it like a slice of bread in a toaster. So if I take a slice of bread and I put it in a toaster and set it at level 2, it's going to come out. It's going to be light. If I take a piece of bread and I throw it in a toaster and I put it at level 5.
Yeah, it's going to look like Volta black.
Yeah, it's going to be black. Now, if I take it and I set it at 3, it's going to be kind of in between.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you will, think of a medium roast as like setting it at 2.
Yep.
A dark roast is setting it as 3.
What's level French then?
Level French is like setting it at 5. Right?
Oh wow! So
Yeah,
that, okay.
So this
So
going to
French roast is usually a darker roast.
Yeah, it's dark, heavy roasted. It's going to have that roasted smoky component. And quite honestly, a lot of coffees have a roasted smoky component as well to them. And so people that like to drink coffee or like the flavor of that or like a strong drink, this is something that's right up their alley.
Huh? Yeah, no. Okay, so this is the other thing I did want to touch on because I don't know if I'm not trying to sell it to anyone, but obviously, guys, we're in Cedar City. Jason is from Cedar City. You're here. You're in this little town.
Yeah.
You know, the way how this drink, like if you go get a hot chocolate from anywhere, whatever, usually it's thick and it's gluggy on the throat. And you feel sluggish afterwards. There's no joke. Like that, just like a normal hot chocolate. Not from if you get one from Starbucks, they're a little bit darker on the roast. I'm sure they do taste a little more closer to what you've got going on. But what like your drink? When I had the first one that I had, we had it in my flask. It was fairly big. We had I think we had some sweetener in it.
Yep.
So that did make the sweetness come out in it. But it didn't feel thick. It didn't feel sluggish, and it felt light.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice and clean.
It does actually, going down is a good feeling.
Yeah, it has a good clean feeling
Yeah.
to it. And so when you start off and you brew your Choffy, it is going to be like a black coffee in terms of its sweetness.
Sure.
Or if you don't drink coffee, baker's cocoa. Right? So
Yeah.
baker's cocoa is not sweet. Cocoa beans are not naturally sweet, and so it's going to be the same thing. From there, you can pick and choose what you sweeten it with.
Yeah.
So with what you wanted today, we threw in some whipping cream, some heavy whipping cream, right? That's no sugar, just cream.
Okay.
And then
I think that was perfect, to be honest with you. I usually do half and half in my tea or whatever,
Yeah.
and I have a little bit of honey, and that's it.
right.
I don't, as far as like going after like all the sweetness and things, I'm not into that as much.
No, that's the cool thing is that you can brew Choffy and then
Yeah.
everybody can have their own individual experience with it.
Yeah.
Whereas let's say that you don't like sweetness as much, but my daughter, my 14-year-old,
Sure.
she's all over it. She's that pumpkin spice stuff, creamer at Walmart. She absolutely loves that, and put whipped cream on top and a little cinnamon. She's happy as a clam. And so we can brew the same thing and we can have it be a different experience for each of us. But the bottom line of it is the baseline is that it's healthy for you. And then you pick and choose what you add to it to make it your own.
Yeah, it all comes down the roast, huh? I had no idea. I thought there was a whole bunch of stuff in there, man. But like the day when I first met you, I saw that little bag that you had. I was like, oh, I wonder what else he's got in there. You know, I was just curious.
Right? Yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah.
good question. And the answer is nothing, just
No,
cocoa beans.
Just cocoa beans.
Yeah, the idea is if we can keep it to whole foods,
Mm.
and I believe that whole foods, natural foods, that they work best for you. In this case, we don't take apart the cocoa bean like a lot of chocolatiers separate cocoa butters and cocoa solids.
Mm.
We don't Dutch or alkalize. We just have it all be just the cocoa bean. We use the entire bean itself, so we're a whole product.
So how where are you getting all your beans from? Obviously, all over the place. You said.
Yeah. So from the Ivory Coast, from Ghana, from Ecuador, and from Nigeria.
And how does it show up when it gets? So
So-
I know that they talk about the cocoa bean. It comes in a pod.
Yep.
You crack that pod open. It looks like a whole bunch of white mucus.
Yeah.
In most of the times, there's others that have different colors and things to it. But what they usually do there is they take all the beans out of it at that point, and they're very soft.
They are very soft. And so what they do is they'll spread them out on, traditionally it was banana leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Now they use tarps because tarps are way cheaper to use.
Wow.
And so they lay them out and they allow the slimy white fruit, which tastes so good, by the way. It tastes so good. It's just hard to get a hold of.
What's the taste? What's the flavor?
It's almost like a Starburst, like a lemon
Really?
Starburst kind of. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's super hard to get a hold of. And so typically only if you get a cacao pod and you can suck the fruit off of it. But usually they cut the pod open, they lay the fruit out, and then they allow the fruit to ferment and rot
That is
away.
natural rate.
Yeah,
That's a particular scenario there too, because that's it's timed.
Yep.
And it's also, you got to be very careful of how you got to turn it.
Yep.
Otherwise, it could all go bad.
Yeah, so that happens all at the farm level. And so they ferment and dry. Usually a good fermentation process is about 7 days, 5 to 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually get well-fermented beans that's going to bring out some of the, a little bit more sweetness out of it, make it less bitter. And so then after that, they pack it up into 65 kilo jute sacks. That's about 135, 140 pounds. And ship them over to, in this case, to the United States. We get them once they're landed here and then have them trucked over from the East Coast. And when we get them, they come on again on these pallets. They're 8 65 kilo jute sacks to the pallet, and we break them down, and then we hand screen through everything that we do to remove impurities. As an agricultural product, of course, you're going to get rocks and trees and sticks and whatever. And so we get rid of that stuff. And then from there, we just do everything in-house. We just roast, grind, package, and ship out right from here in Cedar City.
Yeah. I mean, it's a small place you guys got to. I mean, it's not huge. It didn't seem too big. It's just nice. I mean, very, very clean, very simple.
Yep.
I think I saw 3 or 4 machines there at the
That's
very
about
most.
it. Yeah, that's about all that you find.
Yeah, wow. That's so unique. So you've gone all the way into here. What point did you pull away from the other business completely?
Oh, good question.
How was that like?
So what happened is we were featured on Dr. Oz as his number 3 best of the best for weight loss, which at the time in 2011, I had no clue that there were even weight loss properties associated with Choffy.
Yeah.
So he,
antioxidants, baby, gets rid of all of that stuff that doesn't move.
Yeah, I mean, you've got that, and then you've got a chemical compound that what it does is it interacts with a hormone that normally would put on fat and kind of disrupts that and allows the body to slough off fat, which is kind of cool. And that's what they found. And so we were featured there, and overnight we went from no sales to blowing up. At the time, I was still working for my dad's company and Unique Communications, and so I ultimately went to him and said, "Hey, Dad, we're busy enough. I'm going to leave. I got to go take care of these guys." So we had production at the time. I was in Henderson, Nevada, but production was up in Vancouver, Washington. So I moved my family to Vancouver, Washington, December 26th, 2011, day after Christmas, because we had to go there. There were some things, management wasn't going on very well.
Oh, is it with your company, with Dad's company?
With Choffy.
Oh, with Choffy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Henderson, Nevada is where my dad's company is.
Okay.
But we were producing in Vancouver, Washington when Choffy.
Oh, wow.
Up there. And so because my partner lived up there.
Ah.
In business. And so there was some mismanagement going on. It was unfortunate. And ultimately I said, well, to right the ship and to make this right, I need to move up there. So we decided to go up there, and we moved up there, and we were up there for 18 months, in which time we said, whoa, we don't have to do this up in Washington. We could move it back to Henderson. So we did. My business partner, he wasn't that interested in continuing. So he said, okay, I'm out. And he left, and that was interesting. And we gave it a shot and had a good run at it. And in 2015, I failed. And
failed. Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy hard.
Yeah. So we had some great things where we really went up, and ultimately, because of some of the mismanagement that had happened in the business, we started to lose business like crazy. So we went from almost $1 million in sales. We lost 82% of that business, and we just went downhill so fast. So in 2015, we kind of lost everything, and I went back to my wife and told her what was going on, and it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. I wasn't taking any paychecks. She knew what was going on. It's easy when there's no money coming in.
Okay, so now this is now all in your hands.
It's all in my hands.
You're not working at the other place now?
No, I'm not working at the place. I left December 26th of 2011. When I moved my family to Washington, that's the day that I left.
Ouch. So no more security blanket.
No more security blanket. Yep.
Ouch.
So it starts going downhill, and we had saved up a lot of money. The goal was to retire at 35. So we'd worked, and I figured we were going to be okay. But then we started losing and losing and losing. We started putting more money into the company and more money into the company. And at some point, all the money was gone. And, but in 2015, we weren't quite there, but we realized, this isn't going to work in the current organizational structure that we are set
So
at.
this is a 4-year collapse.
Yeah. This is a collapse over 4 years.
What changed?
So what changed was at the time we were a multi-level marketing company, because that's what my partner knew. I knew nothing about what multi-level marketing was. He wanted to do that. What we realized is that there has to be the right type of management for it. And if you don't manage that correctly, then you can really upset people rather quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And so we did. There was some...
So it seems like it was built on a house of cards.
It really was built on a prayer, I think, and more of a house of cards than anything, like you said.
So did he join with a multi-level marketing company and have it as a product in their company?
No, actually, we started our own multi-level marketing company. And so...
Now let's just get this straight, just so everyone knows. Every business in the world is multi-level marketing. But the difference is it in-house or is it out to the public? Like they try to get everyone,
Right.
the illusion of you could have your own whatever.
Your own business or whatever. Yeah. And that was kind of the idea. But what I realized is that model we were struggling with. It didn't seem to function very well. Incentivizing people to get moving was hard. So in 2015, my wife and I decided that we had to shut the doors on that business. So we shut the doors on that business, and I went to her and I said, I still believe in Choffy. I still believe that we can do this. Coming off of this huge failure, and we can make it if we dump everything that we've got in there. And I'm talking kids' college funds, rest of the retirement.
Do it.
Roll
The dice.
That's right. We're all in on this, or we're not in.
Wow.
To my wife's credit,
This is 2015.
This is 2015. This is June 30th, 2015. And
You're a saint, wife.
Yeah.
You're a saint.
And she said, "Hey, listen, this is scary.
Yeah.
This is so scary to me because the rest of the security that we have, that little bit of security blanket of funds that we have, that's going to go. And our kids, what are they going to do? You know?" And I said, "Okay, we're going to have to figure it out." And she said, "Okay, let's do it." And so we did. So we opened the doors last half of 2015 and started Choffy Inc. as a direct-to-consumer online sales.
Perfect.
I wanted to be able to make sure that every day I went home knowing that I did good. And so we started, and we took a lot of black eyes for doing that. People had thought that I was in it just to steal their money. Wasn't the case. Unfortunately, there was just some mismanagement before in the business.
You mean like from the business model before?
Yeah, from the
going into what the new one was.
They thought, "Oh, you're just
No,
trying to
they're
steal
all
our
just
money,"
left
left behind, and that wasn't the case at all. It was more so the case that we just had run out of money and. Because of the mismanagement that went on. And
what did you offer those people for incentives?
Oh, it was a great question. So I had a conference call with them and I said, "Listen, I am so sorry that we're failing at this, but the honest truth is we're failing and I don't have anything to offer you except this. I will give you a discount for life."
Yeah.
And that's all I can offer you because I'm grateful for you and I'll maintain that. So we gave them a former distributor discount. And some of them were really upset with us.
That's the thing that was going through my head as you were telling. I was thinking, they have to at least get a discount so they could sell it, make money, or whatever the case, right?
Yeah, in this case, so they could continue to drink the product. They could, they could resell it if they wanted to. They could do whatever they wanted to. And
it sounds like you're a reasonable person.
Well, I really loved those people. Some of them were my good friends, and it hurt to go away from them, and that was a big thing. There were friendships
Did any stay
lost.
on?
There's a few people that did, and more have come back to just consume the product as time's gone on, and I still maintain that for them. I'm going to always maintain that for them because they were there for me when we were little and when it was hard.
Yeah, well, they're the ones that showed you that the product is worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So so even if someone left you back that day, if they came back today. Like today, you would still give them a good discount?
100%. Always will.
That's amazing.
Yeah, one of my...
That I think is really cool. Very fair.
Yeah.
In a crappy situation, you've
Yep.
actually patched it for, I think, very well. Actually,
Yeah, good. There were a couple of good friends of mine, Angela and Tina, that they were great friends, and it cut a lot to see them go. It hurt a lot, but yeah, I'd give them discount for the rest of their lives.
Have you reached out to all these people?
Yeah, we've reached out to them, and some of them it was a little soon, I suppose, and time heals a lot of wounds, but
Big time.
But they're coming slowly. They're coming back.
Yeah.
And I think they're seeing that we're trying.
As long as you keep doing what you're doing, which
Yep.
you are,
Yep.
you guys have got a great setup. I would reach out to those people. Maybe do a quarterly, just for those people. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe for something else. But if you just keep adding them to here's our quarterly where we're going now, and this is how we're doing. And by the way, if you did sell this product, you could come in here, and that's where your market share could be. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, just to have that, and to, even though they could hate you right now,
Right.
but then they could watch your progress, and as you're honoring what you've said to them from get go,
Yep.
if they come back, do you know how solid they will be for you?
Yeah. Well, we'd absolutely love it if they came back, not just for them to sell the product, but because I know what it does for people, and
Yeah.
I want them to be healthier. And
Oh, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, you're already on a trajectory now, right?
yeah,
You're
we are.
building.
Yeah, it's been 10 years now.
Great. So now you look at that building for 10 years, right? And these people that you have burnt, sure, bring them back, sell for you, whatever, doesn't matter. The biggest thing is, though, is you're showing them, in the beginning, you were trying to give them something that they could make money from.
Yep.
Right? And they got burnt.
Yep.
You got burnt.
Yep.
Everybody sounds like they got burnt.
Yep.
But you come out of it, and now you're being an honorable person by saying, hey, if you come back, check out what we've got going on. Oh, and by the way, if you were at this level with us, you'd be making around that.
Yeah, we
And that's just I would just put that to the people that were with you from the beginning.
yeah, we give them the steepest discount that we'll ever give anybody.
Done. So I mean,
And-
if anyone's listening out there that knows about this or did this with you and has this availability, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, people, because this never happens, or it does happen with good people. You know what I mean? So for you to have so many morals and scruples about this,
Yep.
I commend you.
Thanks.
That's not easy.
You know, it's one of the things where my values and my morals are worth more to me than a few dollars.
I love that. I
And-
love that more than you'll ever know.
Yeah, to me, it's super important. I look at money as a tool that's used to do good, and that's the idea behind it. So, but yeah, that's what we did. Ultimately, 5 years ago, we moved up here to Cedar City.
Mhm.
We were in Henderson, Nevada. We moved during COVID. We thought, well, it'd be a good thing for our family to get out of Vegas,
Yeah.
and as well to be able to be someplace that is a smaller community where we felt like people would rally around us a little bit more. And I think that we were right. We love being here. So we moved all production up here, everything. We're a small little family run business. We've got 3 people.
Yeah.
So when I say small family run business, that's what it is.
You're minuscule in so much of a sense, but you're still surviving.
Yep.
You're coming out of the doldrums of what you've been through.
Yep.
Which sounds like the worst of it is behind you.
I hope so. I mean, you never know. I think that, man, I've been doing this a long time now. I guess it's been almost 14 years. And so one of the things I've learned that we talked about earlier is that life doesn't stop throwing hard things at you.
Mm-mm.
It never
Not at
does.
all. Never does.
You just get better at dealing with those. And when I was a kid, the things that were hard to me then aren't hard to me now. I still have those problems.
Sure.
Right. But now I get different problems that are maybe a little bit more difficult and help me to grow a little bit. And
Yeah.
and that's the idea. You just keep growing and moving through it.
Moving and shaking. It's the thing that happens the best. No, I think it's great. I think I like the way how your mindset is. I love that you guys are family orientated. The fact that you have had a little bit of success in something that wasn't so great. Clearly, it wasn't your idea. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Either way, but you've come out of that. you've corrected problems. You probably could have done it a lot faster and a lot sooner, and you probably could have heard a lot of people about it, and you probably could be in a better scenario, to be honest with you, but you didn't. You did it the right way.
Yeah, that's the case. I mean, we could have done things different. We could have cut some corners and hurt some people, but that's not what I'm in business for.
At what cost,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not in business to do that.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds like it. You come from good stead. Your dad is a very honorable person, and clearly with a record of no one leaves every 6 years, that's pretty amazing. And the only reason why they're leaving is probably because they're too smart for the whatever they're doing, and they can't say no to all the money that's coming. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. And the people that my dad's helped to graduate beyond his business have gone on to do phenomenal things.
Even bigger things. Yeah,
we still keep in touch with many of them when I say many, I think we've had 12. So out of the there hasn't been that many
over the
left,
minuscule many,
right?
Yeah.
But they've all gone on to do different things. Me being one of those.
Yeah.
And greater and bigger things, perhaps for everybody. I mean, for me, the idea of greater and bigger is being able to help more people.
Yeah.
And being able to do more for my community, and being able to see the difference that people feel when they drink Choffy, and know that I'm helping that.
Yeah, no, I think that honestly, man, like the product is amazing. For you to get it down to where you have right now, where it's just cacao, I can't. It's blowing my mind. Like I've played around with chocolate, man. I tried to make a chocolate bar. I tried to do a few things with chocolate, just for health, because the highest antioxidants over everything that's in the world. It's super solid.
Yeah.
To have it flavor, the flavor is amazing. It's not thick and glucky. You know, it's actually you wash it down and you feel good. You feel pepped. You know, it's almost like as if you had a coffee, but without all the in your belly.
Yeah.
Because coffee makes your belly sore.
It does. And part of the reason for that is it's acidic. Whereas with Choffy's not acidic. So it's not going to cause your digestional issues. It's not going to cause the big ups and the big downs.
So it's more alkaline, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's actually basic. Just
It's
right in the middle.
Yeah. Perfect. Especially if you're looking for health, that's a great thing. Is there any other where's the future go? What's on the horizon for you as a company?
Yeah. So let's talk about the future vision real quick. I want to one day be in that home in Brazil. I want to be sitting with that lady one day, and I want to have that recognition that Choffy made it, and it's helping people all over the world. I don't think that this is a product that we can hold to ourselves. I think that we need to get it to people, and we need to help people. And for those, a lot of people, if they are LDS members of the church, coffee is a struggle. The cool thing is that you can drink this.
It's ready to go.
Yeah, it's ready to go. And if you can drink hot chocolate, you can drink this. And so it's a great substitute.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have I'm just thinking of, like the emergencies you buy, you put in water and bang, it boosts your immune system. Do you have something like that on the go?
So the closest thing we have to that are Choffy singles that are in a little satchel. And those satchels are made out of recycled sugarcane fibers. So it's 100% natural. It's 100% compostable. And you would steep it just like a tea. So you can take a mug and boiling water.
That's what I had in mind. We left it in there. Yes.
Yeah. Well, you left it in there. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I actually sucked on that when it was done too. Like,
yeah, you can.
It was great.
You can eat it. You could suck on it. You could do whatever you want. You could use it in smoothies because again, it's just cacao.
Yeah.
And
the roughage would actually push things through your body. So
that's fiber is a fantastic aspect of Choffy that really helps to regulate your digestive tract as well. But yeah, that's a great on the go solution is our Choffy singles.
Okay, where do we find all this product? Is it Amazon?
You can find it there. I'll be honest with you, you're going to pay a lot more because Amazon, I don't know if you know this, takes 18 to 22% of our sale on a basic level, and 53 to 57% of our sale is if it's on Prime.
Wow.
They kill you. They're not a billion-dollar company, a multi-billion-dollar company for
a
nothing.
reason. Yeah. So do you offer it cheap elsewhere or
Choffy.com, yeah, Choffy.com. So Choffy.com is where we give our customers the discounts, because if I'm going to give a discount to anybody, I'd rather give it to you than to Amazon.
Yeah.
I'd rather give it to you than Walmart.
Right.
You can find us on Walmart.com as well, but again, it's going to be substantially cheaper on Choffy.com, and there's going to be options there that we do to make it even cheaper. So we have like a subscribe and save where you can subscribe and set up to get recurring orders once every 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or 75 days, and you're going to get 10% off, and then you're going to get 10% off plus free shipping on your second throughout your shipments that you have.
Great. What if someone's looking at you and they love to sell things and they want to sell this product? Do you have an option for that for someone?
We just are starting that, and we do have an option. So if we look at people that are interested in sales, we've talked to our first outside sales guy who's excited about selling Choffy, and we're going to test with them. And we just came up with our pricing for it, and
good.
We are excited to be able to have him give it a shot, and then perhaps have other people give it a shot. We'd be really open to it. Because again, the idea is we don't want to hold and keep Choffy to ourselves. We want to make it available for everybody, and we want to let people know about it. And the biggest mountain that we have to climb is education, because no one knows what it is. And so if we can have people talking about our product, selling our product, letting people know about the benefits of our product, then other people can find it and decide for themselves if it's something that they want to add into their daily regimen.
Have you ever thought, I don't know what your budgets are like or anything like that, but I know, well, in a place like this, right? If you had them individually wrapped, you could give them out, right?
You could.
Just a thought.
You could.
But then you could do challenges. Like I'd almost, I mean, especially Utah, I would travel to every college or whatever you want to do, but I would set up shop and I would do like a Pepsi challenge whatever. Do you do that?
Yeah, no, we don't do that. That's a great idea. Yeah, it would be great, right? Someone come up and say, "Hey, try this for the first time." Yeah, you tell me what you think.
Yeah, genuine.
Yeah, I'd love that. Actually, we kicked around the idea with some of the people in the school about producing Thunderbird Cafe and what that would be like, and having Choffy and Thunderbird Cafe, which I would love.
Dude, we got one right here. Why is your product on it?
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be great. I guess we ought to run over and talk to them.
Yeah.
But so have a cafe or a place where we can get local products, where students can go and have a cup of Choffy, get maybe something like pull it together and get something from the bakery. We've got a French bakery that's close called the French Spot. Maybe get croissants from there or chocolate croissants from there. Add that with Choffy and have abilities to study, and it'd be so fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I like it. It's I think you're in the right direction. It sounds like you're only going to go up from here onwards. You know, I like what you got going on as far as the product itself. I think is dynamite, especially to get that much flavor out of just roasting. It blows my mind. That really does. So that's a trick right there, you know?
Yeah. That's one of the things that we really work on. We work on perfecting our craft, and we put all of our love, all of our excitement, all of our energy into our product, so that when you drink it, you feel the difference, not just in the way you feel, but in what you taste.
Yeah. How many different brands do you have? How many different varieties of products?
Okay, so from 4 different countries, we've got different products, totaling 11 different products.
11.
So yeah, we've got a medium roast, a dark roast, and a French roast from the Ivory Coast, from Nigeria, and from Ecuador. And then we've got a medium roast and a dark roast from Ghana, which is Volta.
Oh, okay. Man, this sounds fantastic.
Yeah. We also offer them in single serve K-Cups as well.
Yeah. The cake. So you do the K-Cups.
We do K-Cups.
I almost feel like you need to do an individual wrapped thing. And I think that should be a promotional something, because that way you can get it on the ground. Hey, try this cup. Oh, did you like that one? Or did you like to have maybe 3 options?
Yeah.
And then if you like this, here, take a couple with you.
Yeah, we've got some variety sets for K-Cups. We've got some variety sets for singles, and we also have some variety sets that are little 3.5 ounce samples for each individual product, so
Cool.
that you could buy it. It'll brew you a full pot or a couple of French presses or what have you, and then you can taste and just determine what you like.
Yeah. I know that we do a lot of things here. A lot of promotions all over the place. If you wanted to get that stuff worked out
Love
through
to.
us,
That'd be so fun.
Get it to us.
We should do it.
Let us push it.
Yeah.
Because I think it would help a lot of people, especially when you're studying and stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the big things. How many times are students stressed out? All the time. How many times are students trying to figure out how they can make it through their classes and still be happy and have life work well for them? If we could naturally increase their happiness, their ability to study, their ability to focus, their ability to manage stress, how great would that be?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
No, you'd be on point. I think it's the same as like I work with the chiropractor. It's the same deal there too. When you got you like this for a while, before you know it, it's throwing you out the curveball for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the experience that I had drinking it last Monday. And I think I started drinking it around 4 p.m. and I didn't finish work till around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I noticed that shift went extremely easier than it usually does. So whatever's going on in there, I can't say that I've been drinking it for the last 2 weeks, but I can testify to that. And I'm more of a natural type person. I don't really eat a lot of food. I watch what I eat. I definitely, when I drink my teas, I like tea.
Yep.
But it's tea with honey and a bit of half and half, and that's it for me, So I actually think you got a great product.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I'd like to help that if we can push it a bit more. Is there anything that we haven't touched on that you would like to talk about?
No, I think that we've done a really good job.
Yeah.
It's been so fun to be able to be here with you and just kind of talk about what we are, what we do, where we came from. And, the one thing we didn't touch on is that I am a Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my alma mater. I love this place and graduated from here. I actually went to school for a while and had to drop out.
Yep.
And Stephen Lisenby, while he was here at the school, he came to me and he was one of the VPs and said, "Hey, we know you didn't finish school. I want you to finish school. Come back and finish with us."
When was that?
2022.
Really?
Yeah, that's when I graduated. Yeah, it took me a long time. And when we moved up here, my wife and I said, maybe it was 21. We graduated in 22. Yeah, 22. We started in 21, graduated in 22. I'd almost finished. I had 106 credits, and then I had to drop out. We had some... life happened. Life happened. I got deployed for a while to work for my dad's company in Guam, and couldn't go to school while I was in Guam. Went to Japan and had to go around. So it was great. One thing I'll tell you that I love about SUU is this. There were a lot of different schools that gave me opportunities to go there, from BYU to UNLV to CU Denver. And I never felt like it was the right place.
Yeah. One
of the things that I felt when I decided to go here is that they cared about who I was. And that they weren't just running me through to get my money.
I would say that's true.
And I love that about SUU, right? SUU cares about their students. They care about who you're going to become. They want you to be successful.
Yep.
And I absolutely loved that. And it started top down, from Mindy all the way down.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them. They're great. So if you're a student out there, know you're at a good school. Man, this is a great place to be. This is a great place to find your future. And one of the things that has helped kind of shape the direction that I want to go with my business has been my experience that I've had here at SUU. It's been pretty cool.
No, I love it. I love it. I work with a lot of the athletics too. We should probably talk about some more things about that.
Oh, yeah.
What I will touch on, though, it's the top of the hour again. It's 11 o'clock. You're on KSUU. This is Thunder 91. They're here in Cedar City. You're listening to Rob Birdsey on my show, Widowed, Trio, and Freedom, which you can see online. You can go to YouTube and look up Widowed, Trio, and Freedom. That's Widowed. I'm a widowed man, trio, 2 little kids. Freedom, we talk these stories, so maybe if we can inspire you, maybe we can enlighten the things that we've gone through to help you guys out too. Thanks for being here. Jason, my guest is Jason Vanderhoven, and he is the owner of Choffy. This is it's nothing to do with coffee. It's just chocolate, and it's all about the roasting. And I tell you, it tastes phenomenal. Like the flavor of it's almost like being in Belgium or something. I don't know. I've never been there, but I've had Belgian chocolate, and it's very similar. Not as sweet. It doesn't have a sweetness to it unless you put like a creamer or something. And even just with the creamer alone, it's I had half and half in mine. No sugar. It was perfect. Like I really like this product. I think it's pretty good. We'll touch on. I have one question, but if you want to say anything else before we go,
No, I'm good. I think I'm grateful. It's been super fun.
Yeah, it's
I've had a great time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming in too. And you brought the whole gamut. You brought some stuff for us to try and everything. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
I have one last question for you, which I think we might get a good answer out of this one. It could do with whatever comes to mind, but what makes the difference?
What makes the difference?
Yeah.
I think two things. What makes the difference is, number one, your resolve. Your resolve to be successful, your resolve to do makes the difference. It doesn't matter whether it's in business, whether it's in schooling and education. It doesn't matter whether it's in family. It doesn't matter whether it's in religion or whatever it is that you're doing. Your excuse me, your resolve to complete, your resolve to be successful, and your resolve to do is one of the most important things. And I think that is one of the things that makes the difference. Secondly, I believe that your faith in God makes all the difference in the world. We are going to run on hard times. You're going to have situations that you don't know what you're supposed to do, and neither does anybody else. And when that happens, and when that comes, who are you going to turn to? I can tell you, for me, I've decided in my life that nothing was going to stop me, that I was going to do, because I made that resolve, and that I was going to also make the determination that I was going to turn to my Maker and ask Him for help, and then go about feverishly working on what I do so I can help other people and I can help my family. And I think that that's the real difference right there.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Actually, I'm going to just talk a little bit more on one thing that you said at the beginning. And I know there's a lot of people out there. I have my ideas. We all have our own ideas on things, I'm sure. The one thing about, I'll put on a two-shot. Sorry, guys. The knowing what you're here for and doing the right thing, who knows, right? We're all trying to work it out. I firmly believe that we meet with our Maker before we come here.
Yeah. I
think there's so many avenues of what do you want to learn, what do you want to feel, what do you want to know, right?
Right.
You're going to get the whole gamut.
For sure.
But I think it's like with you, especially like you're asking, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? I kind of felt like it was already laying dormant within you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, again, the idea that you want to do, that you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, I really believe that God has a plan for me.
100%.
Personally. Yeah. I think He knows me personally, right? I'm fine with saying that. And so the idea, if there's a plan for me, there's got to be a plan as to how I can help other people.
Yeah.
Because we all have to help each other. Listen, this world's tough, man. It's really super, super hard. And all sorts of crap is thrown your way.
Yeah.
All the time. And so I think that the idea that we help each other, that we take care of each other, I think ultimately that's what a Maker wants. And if you've got a Maker that truly is there and loves you and wants you to be there, and then He wants you to take care of each other. Yeah. Just like I want my girls to take care of each other.
Yeah.
When I'm not there, I want to know that they've got each other's backs, that they're going to make the difference for each other, and they're going to take care of each other.
Yeah. No, I think that's fantastic. I really do. Like what I was saying, it laying dormant inside you or whatever the case may be, like you could have come up with coffee a long time ago or the Choffy a long time ago. The only thing is I don't think you were ready for it.
No.
I think you coming to that point where, you were very successful with what you were doing with your work for your father and that in the family business, I think really kicked butt. You were doing really good there. But the translation of Are you satisfied as a human?
Yes.
Are you ticking all the boxes that you need to tick? We have it inside of us, and it's a tiniest little voice, ever so slightly, you probably should do something else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or whatever the case. And if you don't tweak to that, you don't get to go there.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. Ultimately, everything you do in life, you're ultimately going to reconcile that one way or another. Yeah.
And the best way to find that, it would be like a question for you, right? You're making chocolate drinks.
Yeah.
Right. How many times did you forget to eat whilst getting in the thick of creating and right?
I don't even know.
Many, right?
Yeah,
Many.
sure. Yeah.
That's a telltale sign that you're into something really, really big. And if you're really, really into it, you'll forget to eat, you'll forget this, you'll forget that, except for the one project you're working on. And that's probably a good indication that you're going in the right direction.
Well, it's one of the indications that for sure you're committed.
Yep.
If you're willing to forego some of the things in life so that you can be able to accomplish your goals.
Yeah.
Then I think that's important. And sacrifice, I think, is an important aspect of success.
That's what we have to give something for something, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it. Jason, thanks for being here, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I truly appreciate it. And I'm so excited that we met. It was super fun and love to come on your show anytime.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Once again, you can go to choffy.com, is that right? Choffy.com, go get your orders from there. It's the cheapest. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it on Walmart and all that sort of stuff, but you're going to pay a premium to get off those locations. But we should probably do some more stuff, try and help you out.
Anytime.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Right now, we're going to play Changes.